Hi everyone, welcome to the Fearless Fashionpreneur Facebook Live. We're going to do some more Q&A this week, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And keep posting your comments using the hashtag AskFAW, Ask Fashion Angel Warrior, and I will be answering all your questions. So let's get started with the first question. So Hadia asks, is the fashion industry a risky industry to go into? And this is a really good question. So I wanted to be sure to address it on the call live with you guys. So yes, I'm going to be straightforward with you. Fashion is a very risky industry to go into. If you're looking for something that's safe and you're guaranteed a job, fashion is not it. I can remember even when I went to fashion college, I was one of the only students in my class to have a job upon graduation. And a lot of my classmates never ended up getting a job in the industry and ended up doing something else completely. So it's just really important that if this is an industry that you want to go into, that you are very determined, that you're very driven, and you are focused on what your goals really are. Now, if you are looking to start your own fashion business, that's a different story, because I think that there's a lot of opportunity out there for new businesses, especially if you can make yourself different and make yourself unique and really stand out from all of your competitors. I always like to use the Red Dress Boutique as a great example, because here's a girl that was a retailer, became an online store, and literally figured out a different way to approach her customers and really involve her customers in the buying process to get them excited and get them buying more things. And essentially her business skyrocketed, and now she's, a millionaire. So there's so many opportunities out there, but there are a lot of things going on that are risky and makes it kind of quite not unsure. People are unsure what's going to happen. There's a lot of stuff going on with the internet, with social media, with made in America versus made overseas, and the different tariffs and taxes that are being placed on imported goods. There's a lot going on with the see now, buy now stuff. So it's just a very risky industry. I will be completely honest with you. If you're looking for something that's safe, I would recommend being a doctor or something that is in the computer or technology field. Those are a little bit more safe. So I'm just being honest and real. And I want you guys to know that it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that you'll be a success if you start a business. It's not a guarantee that you'll get a job if you decide to look for a job in the fashion industry. So that's a little bit on the fashion industry. So let's go to question number 2, which is from Monica. So Monica asked, what are your thoughts about brand reps representing your brand to their 15,000 plus followers on Instagram for a commission? So this is a really great question, Monica, and you're talking about basically brand ambassadors, or really influencer marketing is what you're talking about, which I am all for influencer marketing as long as you find the right influencer. So, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but just know that the typical ROI on influencer marketing is around $6 for every $1 that you spend. So that's a really good return on investment. So I highly recommend influencer marketing for that reason. I also recommend it because social media is the wave of the future and everything's going online nowadays. So it's a really great way to get your brand out there. Now, you must find the right influencer. And what do I mean by that? So I always say look for the 3 R's. So relevance is number 1. So you want to find someone that is relevant to your business. You want to find someone that has the same look and feel. They're using the same tone, the same language when they talk to their followers. Their page kind of resonates with your business. You don't want someone that's a beauty brand if you're a fashion brand, for instance. That would not be a good, relevant influencer for you. So if you're a fashion brand, you should find someone that's also a fashion influencer specifically, and get even more niche than that. What kind of fashion? Is it women's? Is it petites? Is it plus size? Get really, really clear and try to find an influencer that specifically targets that niche. Which brings me to the next part, which is reach. The next R is reach. And that's not always about the number of followers. So you want to look to see, who are these followers? Is it your target customer? Is it the right age demographic? Is it the right psychographics? Is this person targeting your target customer? Look at their followers and see who are these people? What average age are they at? So you want to make sure that they have the right reach. And then you also want to look for resonance, meaning is there engagement going on within their social media, not just the number of followers. People come to me all the time, oh, I have someone that's 100,000 followers, they're going to post it on their page. That means nothing to me. What's the engagement rate? If they have 100,000 followers and they have only 100 people commenting on a post, then that's not a high engagement rate. I'd rather have somebody that has 10,000 followers and has 100 comments on a post than someone that has 100,000 followers and has 100 comments on a post. So you want to look through their feed and really see how many posts are they posting, what kind of comments are they getting, how many people are commenting. All of that sort of stuff is really important. It's not all about the number of followers. So keep all of that in mind. Also keep in mind that when you do decide to hire someone, they should be able to provide you with analytics reporting. So part of what you're paying them for is that analytics reporting, because that's what's going to help you measure and test to see if this was a success or not. And pretty much everything can be measured and gauged nowadays. The only thing that's a little bit difficult is the actual engagement rate. But there are certain tools and different things out there. So you should definitely make sure that your influencer that you're thinking about working with has some kind of analytics reporting that they can provide to you following the whole campaign. So, and then on top of that, always be sure that how you're paying them, right? So if you're paying them a flat fee, it's not as good as paying them commission. So I know you mentioned commission, Monica, which is great. If you can go that way, definitely go that way with them, because that basically means you're not paying them until you actually make money. So you shouldn't be paying them a commission until a purchase has been made on your website or whatever you're looking to sell, right? So that's how the agreement should go. If it's a flat fee, you want to just make sure that you understand all the terms. For instance, how long is the post going to be up, and who's in charge of writing the copy? Are you going to write the copy or they're going to write the copy? And who's going to do the graphic? And is there going to be a link in the bio, and how long is the link going to be up, and all of these different things, you know, who should be tagged in the photo, all of these different things depending on the type of campaign that's going on needs to be clearly stated up front. So that's really important. And then of course the last thing is you definitely want to make sure you reach out to them in the right way so you start to form the right relationship from the beginning. A lot of these brand influencers and ambassadors are really starting to get annoyed with these people reaching out to them that have nothing to do with their brand or have nothing to do with their image. And so they're starting to get really annoyed. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to them in the right way, that you're using the right language. And actually, I teach all of that in an online course of mine that's all about PR. And inside the course, we talk about 16 free and low-cost ways to do PR yourself. We also talk about how to reach celebrities and get celebs to wear your product without paying for expensive PR. We also talk about brand influencers and influencer marketing and different tools that you can use and different ways to reach out to brand influencers, different types of campaigns that you can do like unboxing videos or account takeovers, etc. So that's really cool. And then there's a little bonus in there too. I also give you over 100 top celebrities, agent addresses, email addresses, contact info, phone numbers. So you literally have direct access to all of their agents, and you can literally get your stuff worn on celebrities, any celebrity pretty much that you want. So that's all inside the PR online course. So if you're interested in that, you can just email me and I will set you up with that. It's info@fashionangelwarrior.com. So great question, Monica. Okay, so our next question comes from Daisy. And so I was talking about on Facebook this idea of what motivates you. And so Daisy said, what if you're at the point where you're not sure what motivates you anymore and there's no zeal left? So two things I would say to that, Daisy. So number one, I would say figure out what your why is. I always say, why are you in this business? Why did you start a business? What is your reason why? And we used to say all the time, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. So you want to have a really strong reason why you're doing what you're doing and you're going after the things that you're going after. And the second thing I would say is that I'm a firm believer that God puts everyone on this earth for a reason, that we all have a calling, we all have a purpose, and we're all given God-given talents and gifts to be able to fulfill that purpose and calling. And so if you are a believer, I would say pray to God and just ask Him to show you exactly what He has for you, exactly what He's called you to do, what your reason on this earth is. Your reason is not to just exist. I think so many people go through this life just existing. I don't want to exist. I want to live my life to the fullest. I want to have life and life abundantly, like it's promised in John 10:10. And so it's just so important to know what your calling and your purpose is. I always say that if everyone actually did what they were called to do, the world would operate exactly how God intended it to operate. The problem is there's too many people in jobs that they shouldn't be in, and they're not using the God-given talents and gifts that they were meant to use, and so they're miserable. And because they're miserable, they're making all the people around them miserable, all their coworkers are miserable, their clients are miserable, their customers are miserable, their family is miserable because they come home from work and they're miserable, and so that doesn't help anyone. So we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to the world to figure out what it is that we're called to do, what it is that our talents and gifts are, and how we can best use them to fulfill our purpose here on this earth, so that we can leave this earth a better place, so that we can leave a legacy behind us. And so that's really, really important. So I would just encourage you, Daisy, to reach out to God. He is always there. He'll never forsake you or leave you. And it's just awesome when you finally figure out what your true calling is. I know that for me, God gave me that vision 5 years ago, and it was just so awesome to see that I was called to the fashion industry. I always knew I was called to the fashion industry, but it was just really awesome to see that I was called not just to be a designer, but to help others fulfill their dreams, to help others reach the level of success that they wanted to in the fashion industry. And so that's why I decided to create my fashion coaching business, Fashion Angel Warrior. And that's why my purpose is to really encourage and empower individuals to reach their full potential and to figure out what their God-given talents and gifts really are, so that they can have success. So it's my goal to help you turn your passion for fashion into a reality. So I just encourage you, ask God, He'll reveal it to you. If you're a believer, then you have no problem there. So hope that helps you, Daisy. Okay, our next question comes from Heather. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions as we're going along, just type them in the comments below. Also, if I don't get to your question today, you can always ask me questions anytime. Just use the hashtag Ask, F-A-W, Fashion Angel Warrior. So ask FAW, and I'll be sure to answer your questions on the next Q&A. And we'll be doing these Q&A calls every week, either on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, usually around 7 p.m. So just stay tuned for that and look out for them, okay? So our next question comes from Heather. And Heather asks, do you help clients with business plans? So my answer to that is yes and no. So it really depends, Heather, on what the business plan is going to be used for. So if the purpose of the plan is for you to really just get a good sense and a good idea of the risks involved and how you're going to make a profit and all the logistics of your business, then yes, I can definitely help you. I help my clients all the time figure out who their target customer is. I help them figure out how to do the right market research so they know if their idea will be profitable before they waste any time or money. Also figuring out who your top 10 competitors are, which is really, really important. And then, of course, doing all the financial stuff with budgeting and figuring out how much things will cost and P&L statements and things like that. Now, if you're looking to do a business plan so that you can get investors, then I have an amazing program. It's called the Business Plan Intensive. It's an online course. It's given by the two top coaches in the fashion industry, two of my icons. I look up to these individuals. They are so amazing. And they literally do this intensive 6-week course. You literally will have a business at the end of 6 weeks, and it will be amazing. And they'll help you to get any kind of funding that you might need. So that's an option for that as well. And if you're interested in that, you can go to my website, fashionangelwarrior.com, and click on free resources, or click on resources and then online courses, and you'll find that course underneath there. So hope that answers your question, Heather. And then our last question comes from Steve. So Steve asks, what's the process of working with a client? Which is a very good question, Steve. So typically when I start to work with a client, I've already done a 20-minute discovery call with them. And the 20-minute discovery call is free. You can sign up for them at any time on my website. And it's just a chance for me to get to know you, what your goals are, what you're looking to do, and to see if we're a good fit to work together. So if we decide that we are a good fit to work together, at the next point, I will have you fill out an assessment form and start to ask you some really important questions. And one of those questions will be, what's your budget? So budgeting is really key when starting a new business, because there are a lot of startup costs involved with starting a business, especially a fashion business. And of course, I want to see how much you can allocate to working with me. So depending on your budget, that will depend on how we work together. So I do one-on-one coaching, I also do group coaching, and then I have online courses which are a lot more affordable than the one-on-one specific coaching. And so depending on your budget will depend how we actually work together. And then I always try to get a gauge for how serious you are and how committed you are. So I'm at the point in my business where I can kind of pick and choose who I work with. And so I don't really want to work with you if you're not committed. I'll just flat out say it because that's the truth. If you're not committed to building your business, how can I be committed to building it? That's not fair, right? So, and at the same time, if you succeed, I succeed. If you don't succeed, then guess what? I don't succeed either. If you don't win, it makes me look bad. So why would I want to work with someone that's not willing to do whatever it takes, that's not willing to be coachable, that's not going to put in 110% to their business? If I'm working harder on your business than you're working on your business, there's a problem with that. So I always say, think of me like a personal trainer, right? I'm going to teach you what exercises to do at the gym and how to eat a healthy diet. But if you don't actually go home and do the things I've told you to do, you're not going to have success. If you come to the gym next week to work out with me and you ate pizza all week, that's not going to help. So I need the people that are serious. I need the people that are committed, that are coachable, that are willing to do whatever it takes, that are willing to listen to what I have to say, that trust me, to know that I'm only going to teach you the things and tell you to do the things that are going to give you success. So that's really important. And then from there, once we start working together, I always put together a timeline for my clients so that they have exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, so that they can avoid mistakes, so that they can avoid spending money in places that doesn't need to be spending money, so they can avoid wasting time in places where they should have done something first and they didn't know, and so they have to go back and redo it and all of that stuff. So I've been there, I've done it, I can teach you the way. So I always put together a timeline, which I find to be really, really helpful for all my clients. And it helps you stay accountable. It helps to keep you on track and helps you to really achieve your goals faster. And who doesn't want to do that, right? So I always put together a timeline, and then from there we just start working together, whether, again, it's one-on-one. We can do it in person, we can do it over Skype or via the phone, depending on where you're located. A lot of my clients are outside the U.S., so I have Skype calls, FaceTime calls, all that stuff. A lot of phone calls involved with that. And then there's also group coaching and the online courses, which are amazing. I love my online courses because they're recorded, and so you can literally go back and listen to them over and over and over again. You have lifetime access. So they're amazing. I definitely highly recommend you check them out. You can go to my website, fashionangelwarrior.com, click on resources and online courses, and you can check them out there. So that's all the questions that I have today. Does anyone else have any questions that's on the call? If not, we are going to end a little shortly here. Okay, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I will leave you with my favorite quote: don't just do your best, do whatever it takes. Anyone can say, oh, well, I did my best. And it's really difficult to say you did whatever it took. So I encourage you, don't just do your best, do whatever it takes to achieve, whatever it takes to reach your goals, to achieve success, to become a business owner, to have a successful business. That's the mindset that you need to have, the whatever it takes mindset. That's the mindset of a warrior. That's the mindset of a fashionpreneur. That's the mindset of success. So I encourage you with that, and I'll see you all next week on the Facebook Live. We'll be doing it on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Any questions that you have, just type in #AskFAW, and I'll answer them for you guys. And let me know if there's anything specific you want me to talk about on these calls, because I'm open to talking about whatever you guys want to know about being a fashionpreneur, about starting your own fashion business, about finding a career in fashion, any sorts of things like that. So let me know. I'm here to support you in any way that I can. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Take care.